Hey guys, it's Steve Aragon with the Aragon team. Just wanted to give you a heads up. We are part of a larger team, the Tariq El Musa team, the Dream Team. I'm sure you guys know Tariq El Musa. He is well known on HGTV for flipping Flipper Flop and Flipping 101. So I just want to let you know we're part of that incredible team that's going crazy through the US right now. Just wanted to talk to you guys real quick. Obviously, you can see Andrew on the other side of the screen. Just wanted to talk to you real quick about where the market's going. You know, this is the first time we've been in this situation with the COVID-19. So do we really know what's going to happen to the market? No, we don't have a crystal ball. We can't look into it and say, you know, the market's going to rebound in 60, 90 days. I know back in 2007, 2008, when we had that crash, it took a little bit longer for it to recoup because we had to get rid of all them subprime loans. And Andrew can go into that a little bit more on how that kind of affected our market. But for right now, what we're doing on my team to be able to show property is actually doing what we're doing now. We're doing Zoom calls with potential buyers, potential sellers, getting them to, you know, obviously if it's a listing, you know, we're having them take pictures of the house before we send our photographer in, or we'll send our photographer in and then have this house sterilized afterwards, so we can get all the photos and everything on the market. But what we're also doing is we're talking to buyers, we're walking them through a virtual tour through this platform on Zoom. And if they're interested in, then we can actually walk them through the property, physically walk them through the property once they show an interest. You know, then after that, even after we go through a property, we're having it sanitized, making sure that there's no way of this COVID-19 going crazy when we're out showing properties. That's what we're doing. I wish I can give you a better overview of where the market's headed. Right now, economists are saying, you know, it could be 60, 90 days, up to 120 days. They don't know. This is completely new to this industry. We're hoping it's not that long, but, you know, I know every day we're out showing and selling properties, so it has slowed down a little bit for us, but we're not letting that deter us. We're still motivated and trying to get the highest amount for every one of our sellers and find that buyer that perfect lifestyle home for them. So with that said, I'm going to give it over to Andrew and let Andrew kind of give you guys an overview of how the market's going as far as the mortgage side.
Thank you, sir. And just kind of to go back to what you mentioned, how we've never been in this situation before. One item that is different than what people remember from 10, 11 years ago is I actually listened to a webinar this morning with one of the top mortgage professionals, Barry Habib, and a stat that I wrote down from him is right now the average household in the U.S. Loan to value is between 50 to 60% home, which means most Americans have a lot of equity in their homes. So that's definitely different than, like you talk about, the subprime loans and people overspending. And so there's a lot of equity in homes right now. So if you do want to pull some money out, there's a couple ways of doing it. Sell your home, take that equity and either downsize or upgrade because you want to move somewhere else and you have that equity, or refinance and pull some money out of that way. So I think that's a huge difference going forward. That's why I think a lot of people are very, very optimistic that once we get through this 30 days, 60 days, whatever that time period is, once we get through it, I think we're going to be back going full steam ahead. That's a huge difference. Yeah, for sure. I mean, the other part is we have guidelines now. I've never done a subprime loan. You know, I mean, we're not giving away loans. Guidelines are being tightened up now, so it's harder to get a loan, and it's been harder to get a loan for the last 10 years. I mean, you can't. You know, I've colleagues that were around 10, 12 years ago said, you know, they'd have a person just come in and say, oh, I'm self-employed. I made $200,000 last year on a piece of paper, and they would give them a $700,000 loan. Well, you can't do that in the last 10 years. So that's a huge difference. And that's why they put all those guidelines and regulations in. So if something did come up like we're going through, we're not going to be in the same mess. We got to get through this, you know, and I don't have a crystal ball. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a doctor. But yeah, I mean, the news is we should be opening up slowly sooner than later. When that time comes, rates are going to be low for the foreseeable future, at least through the end of this year. Rates are, you know, right now they're good and they're going to stay good. That's for sure.
If your rate's above a certain amount, what would you recommend if they're like at 4.5% or 5%? What's the rates right now for a refinance?
For sure. So like I've been doing, and I'm just, as I look over here, I have two big whiteboards full of people's names and all that. So my biggest thing that people have been contacting me for the last couple of months, oh, rates are low, let's refinance it. And then a month ago, they're like, oh, should we wait? Should we wait? My advice to everyone, no matter where your rate is whether it be quarterly, yearly, have me take a look and get your documents in. Let's look at it, because rates are so volatile right now too, that if I have all your documentation and we have an approved file in the system, there could be a day or 2 days that rates dip, and it makes sense. And if all your stuff is in there, we can lock it right at that point. Rates can be anywhere. I mean, if you have a good credit score, rates are really good. I literally yesterday I locked a VA loan at 2.9.
Wow.
So rates are good. I mean, obviously, the borrower's got a 760 credit score. I mean, it's a really good, solid borrower, and you can get rates. If you're a good borrower, you're going to get a really good rate. So if you're 4% above, even in the threes, you know, if you have mortgage insurance, property values in Arizona are way up over the last couple of years. So there's equity there. If you're paying mortgage insurance, no matter where your rate is, you should have it taken a look at, because we can get rid of that. You're wasting money on mortgage insurance. Let's get rid of it. So the market's still good. I mean, I'm still busy. People are buying and selling, like you said. It's there. There's a lot of equity. There's a lot of money out there.
Yeah, I tell our clients, they ask me, when's the best time to sell? We don't know what the market's going to do. And I said, right now is the best time to sell, because that's just it. We don't know if you're going to lose $15,000, $20,000 worth of equity, or even worse. You know, kind of like back in the 2007, 2008, people were losing 30, 40% equity. We don't want that to happen this time. And I don't think it'll happen this time. I think if it goes down a little bit, you know, it's going to be in the single digit, you know, losses.
For sure.
It's not going to be in double digits. So the best time to sell is right now. Get everything going, and, you know, give one of us a call. Let me give you my information. It's Steve Aragon at thearagonteam.com or thearagonteam.com. You can get a hold of us. My phone number is 602-781-1985. Again, 602-781-1985. You can call me, text me, email me, whatever. And I'd love to sit down with you, kind of put a strategy, 20-minute, you know, Zoom call with you, and see how I can help you, you know, buy or sell that next home. What about you, Andrew?
I'm the pink loan guy, all over Facebook, Instagram, social media, but my phone number is 623-404-3535. Shoot me a message. In this business, we're on our phones 24/7. So I'll get back to you. And like Steven said, Zoom call, phone call, hopefully in the coming weeks, in person, back to being in person. And I mean, I've made hundreds of house calls in the years up until about a month ago or so. So I'm willing to travel all over Arizona and come to you, look at documents, take pictures, do whatever.
Okay, perfect. Again, guys, every Friday, we're going to give you specifics. Next week, I'm going to really specialize on the Scottsdale area, kind of let you know what's going on in the Scottsdale area. And then every week, I'm going to break it down a little bit more for you. I'll pick 2 or 3 different areas every week and break down the numbers for you. And, you know, I look forward to making this a weekly event for everybody. Hopefully it's informative, and see how we can help you guys in the future. Yeah. Send us questions and we'll answer them. There you go. All right, guys. We look forward to seeing you guys next week. Talk to you soon. Thanks.